From timber and gum posts to this modern shed, stick around to see how I transformed an empty space into the heart of Gumbi Creek. On my first video, you might remember I ended the introduction with a glimpse of this frame, a work in progress for something essential for Gumbi Creek. But why a shed, and why now? It's more than just about rabbits. This was more about laying a foundation for something bigger, the brand, the dream, the heart of Gumbi Creek. So today we are diving into every step, every challenge, and every victory of building this modern rabbit shed from scratch. So let's get into it. Now, before a single pour went up, this shed existed as an idea, a vision I poured months into perfecting. Using Live Home 3D, an application I bought on the App Store, I mapped out every detail of this shed, from the gum pour frame braced with beams to the trusses that would hold the roof together. It may look simple now, but trust me, many hours of work went into this design. It was all about making sure this shed wasn't just functional, but also sturdy and well suited for my rabbits. Once I finalized the design, it was time to bring it to life. I sourced all the materials in Msika, Harare. From timber to gum pours and nails, everything was chosen carefully for durability and affordability. The site itself presented a unique challenge though. A tree stump was right in the middle of where the shed needed to go. Thus, the actual work of this shed build had officially begun. Once it was out of the way, I sterilized the ground with termite poison, ant poison, and snake repellent. This was highly crucial to ensure the shed would stand strong against termites and other pests. Additionally, it provided a layer of protection for the rabbits, safeguarding them from obvious predators like snakes. With the ground treated and the space cleared, I then marked the foundation lines with precision using twine to ensure everything was perfectly aligned. It was now time to tackle the shed frame, the backbone of the entire structure. I started with the main gum pours, digging holes into the ground using a metal bar. To simplify the process, I began by installing the four corners of the gum pours first. My shed measures 7 meters by 5 meters, so getting these initial pours perfectly positioned was crucial. Using a spirit level, I carefully checked that each corner was standing upright. Once the four corners were up, I crossed twine between the top ends to create a reference point for aligning everything else. This simple step ensured every measurement stayed consistent and the structure remained square. With the corners set, I moved on to installing the intermediate pours, bracing them with timber beams to keep them secure. Slowly but surely, the main frame started taking shape. When I was almost done with this stage, my dad and his boys joined in to help with the trusses. Trusses were necessary because the 5-meter span of the room was too long for a flat roof. They distribute weight more evenly and provide additional stability for the roof structure. We assembled all 5 of them on the ground, carefully measuring and nailing each piece together. Then as a team, we lifted the complete trusses onto the top of the frame and secured them in place. This step not only gave the shed its defining shape, but also ensured the roof would be strong and durable. With the trusses firmly nailed onto the frame, the main structure of the shed was officially complete. Okay, so this portion is where I shot my beam. We'll buy them, but no, not Tengama. What do you call it? The IBR sheet. So this is the back. My dad made those trusses for me. They look so nice. Okay. This is the western side. Okay, let us see how it looks from
from the entrance. Okay. Here's my gate. There's our logo. Okay.
With the main frame done, I was ready to move on to the roof, though there was a slight delay in getting the materials. The beams for the purlins, the Iberia sheets for the roof and walls, and even the concrete bricks for the floor arrived a little later than expected. But once everything was on site, the real work began. The first step was preparing the roof by installing the purlins. Without a ladder, I had to get creative using a chair and the shed frame itself to climb up with each purlin in hand. It was a challenge balancing on the frame while hammering the beams into place, but step by step the structure grew stronger. With all the purlins securely fastened, the framework for the roof was ready, setting the stage for the Iberia sheets. Installing the Iberia sheets began with the roof. Thankfully, I had them pre-cut to the exact dimensions I needed, saving time and ensuring a perfect fit. One by one, I lifted the sheets onto the roof, carefully aligning and securing them onto the purlins below. Each nail had to be precise to make sure the sheets were stable and waterproof. By the time the last sheet was secured, the shed was finally roofed. The sharp lines and snug fit of the sheets gave the structure a polished, professional look, protecting it from elements while adding to its aesthetic appeal. With the roof done, I shifted my focus to the walls. Using the same Iberia sheets, I started working on the taller and shorter sides of the shed. I left deliberate spaces near the roof for ventilation, ensuring a comfortable and airy environment for the rabbits. For the walls too, the pre-cut sheets made installation a breeze. It was a straightforward plug-and-play process, though the long walls presented their own challenges. I had to anchor the sheets with gum posts to keep them in place before nailing them in. By the end of this stage, the shed was fully enclosed and both the roof and walls installed. Seeing it take shape like this was an incredible feeling. It was finally starting to look like the modern rabbit shed I had envisioned from the very beginning. Looking at the shed now, it's remarkable to see how far this project has come. It's been a journey filled with challenges and achievements, but there were still a few more details that needed refining, like transforming the shed from its current state into the planned design with a lattice installed. I carefully measured each space and began hammering in branderings, creating a horizontal lattice that gave the shed a clean, polished look. This wasn't just for aesthetics. This lattice served as a core dual purpose: ventilation and protection. By being installed on all wall openings, it ensured a steady flow of fresh air while keeping unwanted animals out. I worked meticulously to get each brandering aligned just right. Even though it was a repetitive process, seeing the lattice take shape was satisfying. The goal was to ensure that the shed stayed cool and comfortable even during the hottest days. Once the lattice was in place, I turned my attention to the door, making it completely from scratch. It had to be strong and aligned perfectly with the frame. Installing this door was a moment of pride because it symbolized the shed finally becoming a secure home for the rabbits. This stage might seem simple, but it was crucial in transforming the shed from a bare frame into a livable, functional space. The lattice and door were the finishing touches that brought the design to life, giving it both practicality and charm. Next, I shifted my focus to the floor. The process was straightforward but vital. Since I had already sterilized the ground during the early stages, I started by leveling it with makeshift rammers. I also poured some water over the leveled ground to ensure the surface stayed rigid. Then I began layering the concrete bricks one by one to create a durable floor. It wasn't all smooth sailing though. By the time my rabbits arrived, only half of the floor was complete. The other half, it was still a work in progress. It was a race against time, but I adapted. Late nights became the norm as I worked tirelessly to perfect every detail. But in the end, the shed transformed into a space that wasn't just functional but inviting. A home where my rabbits could thrive. And there you have it, the Creek rabbit shed finally complete. What started as an idea and a vision for sustainable rabbit farming is now a reality. One of the final touches I added was the Gumbi Creek logo. I had it printed and proudly hung it on the front of the shed. Seeing the logo up there, representing everything this farm stands for, was a moment I'll never forget. To block excess sun from getting into the shed, I got creative with repurposed materials. Using old curtains and even a raincoat, I made simple yet effective blinds that added functionality with no extra cost. So this is it guys, the final shed. A symbol of what's possible when you mix grit, passion, and a little bit of craziness. Every late night spent working hard on this site was all worth it. So thank you for watching guys, and if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Stick around for more exciting projects as we continue to grow the Gumbi Creek dream. Peace.